Guys, I really hope that the videos over the past couple of weeks have been reaching you, because we have been anticipating what we are seeing right now in the crypto space. We have been waiting for this moment that the tide is turning again and that everything goes up again. But we gotta be careful that we do not get too attached to the emotional side of the markets. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to show you really some beautiful charts which will explain a lot about what's happening right now in the markets. And I'll also go with you to have a look at a couple of altcoins at the end of this video. So guys, let's jump straight into it. And I want to start off, guys, with this basically this chart. And I've been mentioning this chart pretty often in my videos, and this is basically the total market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's basically altcoins, right? And if you just zoom out on this chart, if you just zoom out and we just look at the structure, then we have a nice U-shaped bottom right here with a big rally, correction where we make a low, then we have another rally with a correction, and here so far we make a higher low. This is a very bullish structure. If you were bearish in the past couple of weeks, then that has nothing to do with the price action itself. Of course, when the price comes down, you do feel bearish, but it has to do with the emotional state of the markets that you were caught in. And everyone is being caught in that. And the successful traders and the successful investors, they can see through that. That's the only difference. That's really important. Because technically, guys, this is, if you can see technically, this is just retesting former resistance as support. And if we have a look at the formation right here, and this is just to learn. So if we have a look at the formation, we have kind of like a megaphone pattern. So nothing really, like, this is still a very clear uptrend on the higher time frames. And of course, if we were to break below these levels, and then of course altcoins would be bleeding way more, and you would have actually a small profit if you would have entered here and this one breaks down and you would have exit around here. You only have this move in your profit. But that's not the right way to look at it, because the chances that this is happening is actually pretty small, because this probably will go on until the uptrend stops. So when the uptrend stops, so we have a higher low and we break that low, or we break the last previous higher low. When that uptrend stops, that is the moment you basically want to exit, because you have a certainty of a trend change. But then you have this whole playground, or this whole liquidity, or this whole inflated money that has been into these markets where you can actually take profits from. So guys, that is a very simple way to look at it, but it also shows that right here, this is just completely fine in the structure. So this drop into the support is completely fitting in the bigger structure that we are going to see higher levels this year. Then guys, let's have a look at the Bitcoin dominance. I've been making a video where I actually said I hope this video finds you before altcoin season comes, because like I said, the guy at the roller coaster, he already pressed start. The roller coaster, the safety belts are on and we are off to the races, guys. But I'm not so sure where the alt season is started. I'm personally mostly positioned in the altcoins, and the altcoins that I'm positioned in are doing very good. We're going to have a look at that as well. But yeah, maybe we not get that full-blown altcoin season yet, but we do see the early signs of it right now. So maybe I really want to see the Bitcoin dominance break down a bit further before I can say, like, yeah, we really have alt season where the crazy mania starts. And actually we want to see Bitcoin dominance break below this chart. But during this time, guys, even though the Bitcoin dominance goes up or down, I think altcoins will go up in US dollar for valuation, because if Bitcoin dominance goes up, we are just going to a crazy Bitcoin top. I've been saying it in multiple videos. I expect 130,000 by the end of July, August. So yeah, we are definitely on track for that price prediction, and I expect in terms of time around August, I expect the Bitcoin dominance to completely go down and really have a full-blown altcoin season for the next coming months, maybe leading into October, November. That is a little bit the time horizon that I'm looking at. Then this is going to be a very interesting chart that we are going to look at. This is the US dollar Tether market dominance. And again, guys, we are going to apply the basic structure right here on the weekly time frame. So we have a high right here, we have a low, then we have a lower high, then we have a lower low. Because this one goes lower than that one, it is only slightly. That's why it is so tricky, this one, because you could think this as a double bottom, and this has scared me definitely when looking at this. But technically, and this is how we stay grounded in these markets, technically it is a lower low. Then we have to wait what is going to be manifested next. So we have this breakout from this pattern, which again is very scary. But if we technically look at this, it is a lower high. So technically, guys, this is still a downtrend. And that is important to stick to these basic rules, because now we can easily say like, yeah, okay, this is a downtrend. Now we have to wait for this move to either make or a higher low, which would be bearish for Bitcoin and crypto. But I would expect to make a lower low and maybe even come to the support eventually of this channel. And when that happens, guys, I'm going to make a video, because that is probably going to be one of the best moments where you can take profits. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you have the bell notifications on, because this is definitely a moment that I'm going to share with you guys whenever that is going to happen. But there is another chart that I want to share with you as well, which looks a little bit uglier, and this is the stablecoin dominance combined. That is the USDC chart with US dollar Tether. So that is just basically combined USDC and USDT. The thing is with this one is this chart did make a higher high. So we have a high that is higher than the previous high, but the low is still lower than the previous low. So this chart going to be a little bit tricky, because what do we want to see here? We want to see this breakdown. This is a nice breakdown from the support, but we want this to come back into this pattern. We don't want it to turn around right here. That would be quite scary. That would be quite dangerous, because we have a falling wedge formation, breakout to the upside. So we basically don't want to see that, and I don't expect that necessarily, because like I said, based on time, I think we are entering the most bullish phase of the Bitcoin bull market. We are entering the last phase, and the last phase, guys, is the phase where people, including retail, are going to make the most amount of money. This is the most important phase. We have been waiting 4 years for this moment. That is the crazy thing. So yeah, we really have to break down in this chart. I really love to see that. Then guys, let's go to Ethereum, because Ethereum, and I have to take another Ethereum chart for you guys, because I have made a lot of drawings on this ones. I made also some drawings on this ones, but yeah, Ethereum is going absolutely crazy right here. Look at this, guys. We broke this resistance. Nice. We break the second resistance. Super nice. Becoming like a bumper run reversal pattern. This is really what we want to see. This is really beautiful. I'm expecting this at least to go back to the top of the range. We have some resistance right here coming in at 2450. Next resistance is at 3420. But guys, breaking this resistance, that is a multi-month resistance that we are breaking with a lot of engulfing candles right here. This looks like a trend change, and it also is very positive for all the altcoins, because Ethereum has been always the altcoin that is kicking off altcoin season, and that is one of the only things that has not yet has happened during these market conditions. Now we have a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, and guys, this one has been bleeding so much. It came back to the lows made in the late 2019. Look at this. This is just pretty crazy, insane price action. But the reaction that we get right now, this reaction, this big engulfing candle, guys, that is the reaction that we want to see, because this reaction looks like a kickoff reaction. It definitely looks like a kickoff reaction. And yeah, I believe this is the start. This is definitely the start. That's what I personally believe, for Ethereum to rally against Bitcoin, and it will carry all the altcoins with it. So from now on, I definitely expect that altcoins will gain more traction, and it will be like a real altcoin season eventually leading up in the coming months somewhere, when, like I said, Bitcoin dominance is really going to break down. And then we are going to see most of the altcoins really going up. So in the past years, we basically have seen these small little seasons when the Bitcoin dominance comes down. They are really connected to a hype. So we had some meme token hype. We had, well, what kind of hype did we have more? We had Bitcoin NFTs hypes. So there was some liquidity concentrated in one of these narratives. But if we get a full-blown altcoin season, guys, it means that the liquidity from Bitcoin is raining down on the rest of the market. So basically everything goes up. Like if we have a look at the previous years that we have seen, like this full-blown altcoin season, it's basically almost every token that is going up. So it's not really, it's maybe some narratives do better than other narratives, but everything goes up. So it's less narrative driven, it's less linked to narratives. It is just the liquidity rotation from the bigger asset, Bitcoin, from the king back to altcoins, which don't happen that often. And when it happens fairly quickly, and it happens fairly a lot. So this is something that we have been waiting for, and that you have to have patience for as an investor. And again, guys, it is not easy to hold through these times. I want to give everyone some recognition because, like I said, like when I make these videos where I'm really enthusiastic about this, I also feel in the background the potential bearishness and all the bearish posts on Twitter and everything, because this is just the market state, the state of the markets, and it has to be like that, because I'm going to explain it to you, because everyone right here wants to buy, and you need buyers there because of exit liquidity, and everyone here needs to sell, which means that the people who sold here are the so-called weak hands. I'm not calling anyone weak people, but these are the weak hands, the ones that are not that strong in their position, not that strong in their confidence. They sell because they feel, oh, the market is getting a little bit too bearish. I didn't expect it when I was here. I was feeling so confident about my positions. Now I'm not feeling confident anymore. I'm going to sell. Those people sell, and what do you got left? You got a group of people left that are inside the market with the intentions, I'm not going to sell for any price. I'm just going to hodl. And those people create the bottom. And then from that bottom, the new rally will be built until we go back to a moment where the majority of the people wants to buy again. Is getting overconfident because they are getting used to these green candles, which I think are going to come in the next coming weeks again, of course. I believe so. But we also have to be realistic. We haven't broken this formation too. So if we want to be really more confident and more sure that we are going to test this high and break above these highs, we need to break this resistance. And let's do that, guys. Let's stick with all of us as well to these basic principles, because these basic principles will help us to get basically a very good objective overview on the markets. It has definitely helped me in times when I felt bearish. When I just zoom out and look at this chart, for example, with my altcoin holdings, I'm just like, yeah, this chart is clearly just in an uptrend, similar as Bitcoin is just clearly still in an uptrend. Right, Bitcoin is still in an uptrend right now, going to the highs again. I actually definitely expected this. I expected this already to happen earlier in this pattern. It happened later than I expected actually, but this was definitely expected. There are almost no pullbacks on Bitcoin, and it looks clearly like like moves we have seen in the past, something like this or something like this, where we just have green candles and not really pull back. So let Bitcoin go, let Bitcoin rally, wait until we top again, and then we get again like a period probably of some sideways action. But maybe the sideways actions right now are getting smaller and smaller because we are in the last phase of the bull market, guys. This is the last phase of the bull market, the craziest phase, the mania phase, where things really accelerate, where the corrections maybe do not take that long. And that's why I have some important dates right here that I'm looking at for future reference, that I've already pinpointed right now, so I can anticipate what's going to come. And of course, whenever we are reaching these dates and reaching certain price levels, I will make videos about that and contact you and let you guys know what I believe, or when it's a good time to take profits, how to take profits, how to spread those profits, and so on. But for now, I'm in the boat, and the liquidity, the wave is coming. We are just going to surf the wave. That is my plan, and I'm just going to stick to that plan. You gotta have a little bit discipline. Okay, guys, that was it for today's video. If you think like, yo, I want to trade Bitcoin, I want to trade alt season, I want to take a huge advantage of that liquidity rotation that is coming on, then you need an exchange to trade on. I'm recommending personally 4 exchanges, and I have listed them all down below in the description. And if you join these exchanges using my affiliate link, you will get an additional bonus or an advantage on that exchange. For example, like lower fees or a higher deposit bonus. And there's basically an exchange for every single one of you, because there is exchanges if you are from a country that can do KYC verification on big exchanges. Then you can use, of course, Bybit, which is by far the best exchange. I'm using Bybit too, but Bybit restricts some products in the Netherlands, so therefore I gotta go to different exchanges. So some decentralized exchanges and some exchanges that do not require any KYC and a VPN to access their services. So if you're interested in that, check them in the comment section down below. If you are new, make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment your thoughts about the markets, and I want to wish every single one of you a very beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.